But most importantly, I do believe that Biafran independence is a just and noble cause. And I trust that you have a bright future ahead.
And they were arrested. But unfortunately, as I'm speaking right now, as those people were arrested, the QRS person, through the order of the Commissioner of Police, were asking that those people should all be let go. And before this time, fortunately, some of our guys were able to capture this thing with their phones. So we have pictures of the fake army uniforms those people were wearing. We are going to play for the whole world to see. The 18 AK-47 recovered by the police. Police have allowed them to take them all back. This is the same war sword that was pronounced. The IG of police, we've reported this thing to the highest order. We've reported it to the presidency, to all the arms of the security agencies. And nobody has taken steps to address it. So they are leaving Akwa Ibom people to defend themselves. Meanwhile, they are using our own oil money to maintain security. Just recently, the SS crude account that was kept for our own people had been used to acquire military weapons. We didn't know those weapons were used to come and intimidate Akwa Ibom people. So we've called on all the powers that be. We've called on the international community that this is a war that has been declared. I've never heard where Nigeria police is a partisanship. This is the first time where the entire police structure is belonging to a particular political party. But since we don't have the police, we don't have anything except God that we have on our people. We want to let the whole world know that whatever happens in this state is caused by the police, not any other arm of the agency, but the police force. With the people that the court has actually declared as illegal occupants of that seat. And today he led them into the place with talks. And we're calling on all that let the police force be called to order. They should go and defend Nigerian territories where need be. They were meant to maintain peace and order, internal peace and order, not to cause chaos in someone's state. And if they are playing politics this way, there's no hope for democracy in this country. And this is in line with the plan. We have their script. That number one, they want to cause mayhem in the state, so the election will not be held. The same day general election will be called. But we are trying to tell that if election is not held on that, we can hold election on that same day. They should forget election here. Either you hold election the same day everybody is, forget about elections here. Elections must be held the same day. That is what they are trying to perpetrate here now. And you need to see, they've injured a lot of our people. They've destroyed people's houses. And police are supervising them to do this. Which country has this ever happened? And we've reported this, they tend to ignore. I've called the IG police operations, who's supposed to call this into order. He promised me he was going to call this to order. Nothing has been done. We've tried to reach IG of police this morning. He has rebuffed us. Why should this happen in a country that has constitution, there's law, and everybody here is a citizen? Nobody was brought into Nigeria. Nobody here is an alien. So we are warning the whole country now that Akwa Ibom State is under siege by the police, not by any other person. Because we have all our people here. And we have very peace-loving people. But our peace is being threatened by the police force. Let the commissioner that they just posted last weekend, who is coming to perpetrate this, let's assume he has finished his course. He has achieved his own mission. I want to call on the police force. This evening, the police commissioner of this state must be withdrawn. He has to leave this evening. He must be withdrawn. The head of the QRS must be withdrawn. So that we can maintain peace. And let them also sound a note of warning that those who have governed the state and left, they should stay in Abuja. The state, we have a population of 6.2 million people. We will not take this as a people. We gave you opportunity, you governed, you're calling on war. Meanwhile, you kept your children abroad and calling on war. Which children do we want to kill? In which state? Never. We stand for peace, and we shall ever remain peace and law-abiding citizens of this country. We believe the Constitution will take its course. And we're also calling on the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Please, we are all citizens of this country. And that the President should take necessary action to forestall this, because we see this sign. And we have actually been sounding this warning. We've noted this everywhere, but it seems to be ignored. Today it has played out. I want to believe my people will be protected by the constitution and by the law of this country. I also want to believe that the president will do everything humanly possible to save lives and property here. And call those who were calling for Warsaw, that this is Warsaw that will see war. Let them report to Abuja. Go and fight war, or they should be sent to where Boko Haram are fighting. Let them go and curtail Boko Haram. And Kwaibom is not Warsaw. Whoever is calling for this, let him go there and fight. There is Boko Haram threatening this country. So you should go there and do it. We say no to this intimidation by the police. We say no to this siege by the police. We believe we'll be supported by the foreign missions, we'll be supported by all Nigerians, we'll be supported by all and sundry who love peace and who remain law-abiding in this country.
Some of the things I recovered were returned back to, the people will recover those things from. For instance, there was this case of somebody will recover 80 S-Class Mercedes-Benz car, brand new, houses, farms, motorcycles, and so forth. In a house in Jabi, under information, we got intelligence, and we went there, we saw all those things. I wrote to the customs, the DG of customs, do these people pay custom duties on these vehicles? 80 brand new S-Class, armored plated. The CG of customs said no, they didn't pay. I wrote to Federal Inland Revenue Service. These people pay tax. If you are importing, if you have this kind of vehicles, if you have money to buy this kind of vehicles, they should pay enormous tax to the Nigerian government. They said no, they don't have any record of them paying tax. So we went to court. We got an order of official, and then the court asked us to, we should take custody of those things. It's interim for official pending the hearing of the case. So I did it. I did a memo to the Attorney General to brief him of what we were doing. But later on, the Attorney General said that all the cases are investigated. They never mandated me. One of them was, came through Panama Papers. You know about the Panama Papers? Mm-hmm. A Nigerian senator, former military governor, was mentioned that he has properties in offshore islands. Since I didn't have the structures to investigate this issue, which is overseas, I went to the DG, NIA, said, look, please, let us work together to do this investigation. And they did the investigation. The report was sent to me. I sent one to the president and I sent one to the Attorney General that this man has over 200 million pounds in the offshore islands.
A former governor, a sitting senator.
He's no longer in the Senate.
No, at the time.
At that time, he was a sitting senator. But he had been president of the Nigerian Senate.
But nothing happened.
Not till today. What of the $69 billion? I got a letter, I didn't prompt them, from an American law firm saying that they have assets or access to a bank account in Texas that has over 69 billion US dollars, proceeds from stolen crude oil. And the 9 billion, 69, the proceeds from the crude oil is 60 billion. The 9 billion is, they mentioned the name, Patrick Aziza, who was National Security Advisor. And I thought it was beyond me, so I wrote to the president that this is what this firm has, alleged. Yes, that they are asking for money, that if we make some payment available, that they will give us the holders of the account number, the bank accounts, and so forth and so on. So I went to the president and said, approve, so that we can recover this money. 69 billion, it's a lot of money. Of course, nothing came out of it.
Up to now.
I also did a letter to Attorney General to brief him. But do you know what he said? The day he saw my wife, he laughed in a very sarcastic manner. I think Obla claimed that he would recover 69 billion US dollars as he recovered the money. He was being sarcastic. How would I recover the money when you didn't act as the Attorney General? Somebody has said, look, we have $69 billion of Nigerian money in a bank account in America.
And the government did not take action.
Nothing. Look, it's in the media. If you look at Punch published the story. Punch published the story. Even when Buhari was in office, he did. I think if I would download it and send it to you, nothing was done.
It feels like the government you work for was a failure in that respect.
I have said so, that I was disappointed because I believe so much in, the former president, and I worked passionately for him.
But I mean, would you attribute the underdevelopment of our country today to corruption?
Why not? Look, if you can, somebody can take $69 billion out of Nigeria. If we have $69 billion, our universities will change, our polytechnics, our secondary schools. We'll have what?